So, all right. So I didn't go live last week only because, yeah, I was away on a work trip, right? So I had to go do like a 2 day class in Detroit. It was a cool experience. I got a chance to kind of get out of my shell a little bit. So if you don't know, I'm like kind of I have social anxiety, right? And I'm pretty much antisocial. So I kind of suffer from social anxiety. If you don't know me personally, that's something that you probably just wouldn't know. But yeah, I know I seem super outgoing and all this other stuff, but I am literally like a recluse, right? I'm a loner. So I'm slightly uncomfortable in group settings. I'm slightly uncomfortable, even if I know some people in the group. I'm still slightly uncomfortable, and I'm trying to work through that. So I was in Detroit, and I was actually traveling back, and that's why I wasn't able to go live. And the way my week is set up, Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights is the only time that I can really go on. But yeah, it's been a it's been a little journey. So we've been talking about this journey to unlearning for a little while now, and tonight I literally sorry tonight I literally want to talk about just a few things about giving yourself grace while you're unlearning, and literally like extending forgiveness to yourself and forgiving others. So let's talk about that. Yeah. Welcome to the I'm saying to the I'm bugging. I'm a little off kiltered a little bit. Welcome to Conversations with Terrence. I am your word sayer, Terrence. We're coming to you live from my beautiful, beautiful edifice. I love this place. Pardon my dress code. I literally just took off a suit. Even though it's technically my day off, I still kind of went into work for a little while because I was a part of this. So I took the next step in leadership at my job, right? So I just graduated from a program that sets me on a trajectory of leadership and kind of success within Delta, right? So I graduated from this particular program. So I had a suit on all day, and then I started getting comfortable in the bed, and I took all my clothes off, and I was like, yo, I'm about to go live. Why did I take my clothes off? So, I put on, this shirt because I like this shirt. The shirt made me look fly in a mug, man. It made me look real fly. So I'm definitely not going to go long tonight. I'm not going to do a whole hour because this is kind of like self-explanatory, right? What this is hold on, while I'm doing this, I'm actually trying to let you guys know that I'm here. So just give me a second. This is new to me. Doing this part is new to me. But yeah. So we've been talking about the journey to unlearning, man. And because like I don't know about everybody else, but me, as I grow older, I'm finding that the things that I've learned throughout my life, growing up and throughout my 20s and my 30s, I'm a man of a certain age at this point. I'm 44 years old. I'll be 45 at the end of the year. And I'm learning that a lot of things that I've learned doesn't fit where I want to be or where I'm going. And no slight or shade to, my teachers or the people that I look to, that worked for them, but does not work for me where I am. I'm a free spirit, right? There's things that I believe in. There's things that that are my quote unquote go to. that people don't necessarily rock with. They don't necessarily believe in. My philosophy is do you, be who you are at all times. Just be honorable, right? Just be truthful, be honorable. Just be a genuinely good person, right? And that's kind of like where I am right now, right? So, and I've unlearned, like I spoke about, like unlearning the underlying hatred that I inherited for the LGBTQ plus 97. I put numbers on that 97 community, right? And I no longer feel that way, right? I haven't felt that way in years because it just took an experience that I had with a great person who showed me. It was like, yo, this is my life. This is my lifestyle. It has nothing to do with me being honorable. It has nothing to do with me being trustworthy. And became very close with that brother and still close to that brother to this day. And then I'm finding I'm finding like a lot, like the community, people in that community, they just love me, man. They were like, yo, you a good brother, you a good person. And nobody be trying nothing crazy. They respect my stance that I don't, participate in all of that. They respect that. But they just like, man, you a good brother, you a genuine brother, and these are honorable people. So it's like me getting past it, I would have never known, me unlearning that, I would have never known or been able to have relationships with people that are actually genuine, good-hearted, honorable individuals because of, I can't say preference. I can't say that you were born as, like, I don't know. So, and I'm being transparent with that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're born that way. I don't know if you prefer that. I don't know if anything happened. That's not for me to decide. But it's just like I've almost allowed myself to go on through life without having relationships with excellent people, regardless of what the preference or birth of whatever it is, and so that's a whole process of unlearning that I had to go through certain experiences to unlearn certain things, right? And then so what I want to talk about tonight is going to be extremely personal. I will do my very best to keep my composure with this particular subject. Hey Cherry, how you doing with this particular subject, right? So I have not been the best dad, right? It started out great, right? But somehow along the way, I dropped the ball with a lot of things, right? And I worked through that for a few years. Me and my children had like our little come to Jesus moments. They told me how how my lack of presence or thereof, me not being as present as I should have been, how that affected them and them growing and all of that other stuff. And we had those conversations. They were very hard conversations too. And I was just like, you know what? You feel super comfortable to say whatever it is, say how you feel. This is not hey, what's up, Meek? This is not a judgmental situation. Hold on. What's that? Let me turn that around because that's going to aggravate me. This is not guys, I still have a short attention span, but it's still, crap, where was I? So we had our little come to Jesus moments. We had our conversations, and I was like, still, you say what you have to say, right? Tell me how my lack of presence made you feel. How did that affect you coming through? And whatever you say, I'm not going to get offended by it. I'm not going to get defensive by it because it's your truth. It's how you felt, right? So me and my children, we went through that, we went through that phase. We went through that stage. We talked about some stuff. And so I still struggle with that, and I've come to grips. I actually not come to grips, but I understand a little more about myself as I progress in life. That a lot of that is still social anxiety, which is crazy because they're my kids, right? A lot of it is social anxiety. Like, to be perfectly frank, perfectly transparent, like my brother and my sister, like literally, I don't really talk to them that often, right? And it's not because there's no beef or anything is crazy or nothing like that. I just have social anxiety, which I should not have, like, with my family, which is crazy. I don't have any stories that we shouldn't be around each other. We shouldn't be together. We beefing every time we together. No, I can't even remember the last time me, my brother, or my sister had an argument. I mean, I'm talking about kids. Like, we were children. Like, that's the last time we ever had an argument. We never had an argument as adults. Like, there's no, like, real disagreements, no, nothing like that. So there's no beef. It's just my social anxiety has literally crippled me in a sense to where it's hard for me to cultivate a lot of relationships, right? And yes, I do have relationships with people, but a lot of my relationships are like just remarkably super surface, right? Really, really surface. and a lot of that is I'm not 100% sure, because I'm still trying to unpack this stuff, right? A lot of it is I'm not 100% sure if it's like fear or like trauma responses for certain things I've gone through with other people. But you should have that person or those people that are super close to you that that you feel 100% comfortable with just being. And I'm just trying to think, how many people can I just actually be around all the time, right? I can't really count. But if you amputated like 3 of my fingers, I still have leftovers. I can't even count the people that I would like, I just need to be around you all the time, right? It's not that many at all. And that is deeply because of my social anxiety. Yeah, and right, Meek just said that so let me tell you my family dynamic real quick, right? So I'm the baby of my family, of my siblings, and there's an age gap between me and my sister. My sister's like 4 years older than me. My brother's 5 years older than me. Even though that sounds close, but in my formative years, they were gone and out of the house. So I was literally the only kid. And then growing up, they were like, they were far beyond me because I'm the little brother. So they got their friends, they doing their own thing and stuff like that. And so I kind of felt like I was the only child. I felt like I was the only child because my brother and my sister couldn't really relate to me because I was so much younger. And I couldn't really relate to them because they were much older. And all that. 4 years doesn't sound like much, but it is when it comes to like developmental growth and all that other stuff. It plays a huge part in it, right? So I was the youngest. There was a serious age gap between us. So it's like that made me like quote unquote antisocial. It made me a recluse. I learned to entertain myself, so I can literally be by myself now all the time and be thoroughly entertained, especially with the advent of social media. Social media is the funniest crap on earth. I promise y'all that. Social media is funny. And that stuff right there, it literally, it was like just growing up that way, it literally put me in a shell. Like, yeah, I've had like good friends growing up, little best friends and stuff growing up, but people, they grow up and they move along. Their family moves and all that other stuff. Same for me. I'm the youngest girl and I have a baby brother 2 years younger. Wow, that's what's up. So for me, this is like I have friends growing up, they move away and all this other stuff. So the longest friends I have, and I'm about to drop their names. Normally I said I won't name people, but these are honorable brothers, like, and that we're still close to this day. And most people don't even know that me and these two dudes are close like that. So my brother Ira, my brother Chip, like these guys are like probably my longest running friends forever. They're like literally my longest running friends. So we talk to each other often. Is like it may not be through an actual phone conversation, but we talk to each other through text and stuff like that. We keep each other together. But other than that, I don't really rock like that, only because like I do have social, and they know I'm antisocial. When it comes to hanging out, that's just something they just be like, he ain't coming, he ain't doing that. oh, Keyshawn Lucky, I'm so sorry, me. I'm so sorry, Keyshawn, if you're watching this. Yes, my man Keyshawn Lucky, good brother, man, good brother. So So it's like so, but everybody knows like, yeah, we can invite him, but I don't think he coming, and they understand that about me. But that's something that I'm just kind of trying to grow out of. But so I mentioned all of that to say like even with my relationship with my children, it's just like because of my social anxiety, it's really really strange, and it shouldn't be that way. It literally shouldn't be that way because they're my children. It just shouldn't be that way. But I think that was the root of a lot of um the absenteeism, like the not being as present as I should have been. I got another chance to do so, um, but this little kid is weird though, so I don't know about him. my son Sire's a weirdo, man. For me, it comes with the less communication growing up in our family. But now, as adults, we learn to communicate better. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. And it's so funny. Like in my family, we always communicated though. We always communicated. We always talked. But it's just more so for me because I was so much younger. It's like, what my brother graduating from high school. What he got in common with me? He's like, I'm in eighth grade. He graduated from high, and he doing his own thing. Like he doesn't have anything like really in common with me like that. But now that we're adults, like yes, now the age gap means nothing because yes, we still have like a lot of stuff in common. So and so with the with the issue of me like with my children, I it's hard to explain this without like really getting into that thing, right? So for me, it created um how can I say this? It created I felt crazy for years. Let's just put it that way. I felt really crazy for years. Really crazy. Um I felt bad. I carried guilt for years. And let's be transparent. Let's be frank. I still carry guilt. Because I wasn't as present as I should have been. Right. So I carry so much guilt, and still it's still pretty much a lot of guilt to this day. Right. But it's not as bad as it used to because I'm on this journey of unlearning. And the funny part about it is I'm very, very hard on myself, period, right? But I do know that I was a lot more present than I'm giving myself credit for. But at the same time, it doesn't matter if it's more credit than I'm giving myself for. It wasn't enough to nurture and nourish my children growing up. You understand what I'm saying? People don't often understand why. I understand when you're creative and have social anxiety. I can sing in public and not hold a conversation. Yo, yeah, seriously. I think a lot of that has to do with me being let me move this microphone because I can't read a word over there. Okay. Yeah, a lot of that does have to do, pretty much with being a creative too for me. Cause I could look like the life of the party, like for real. I could look like the life of the party while I'm performing and all this other stuff. As soon as that last note is hit, I say nothing. I'm gone. Pew. I'm out of here. It's just, and I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to rock with anybody, only because it's uncomfortable for me. And so, like, most relationships was uncomfortable for me. So, like, today, when I was in this graduation ceremony and stuff like that, like, after after the graduation ceremony, we sit down and eat, and then I'm just like, just trying to figure out who to talk to. So I just sat next to my brother Solomon. He's the person that I'm most comfortable with in that room. And you can't fault yourself for what you didn't know at the time. You're right, mate. You're right. So let's get back to that, right? Because I can go off on a tangent, and y'all know me by now if you've been watching, right? I can go off on a tangent, but yeah. So it's like I didn't know how I was making them feel at the time of me going through, because I went through a whole lot. I went through a whole lot after that divorce, right? I went through a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I will get into a lot of that later. I did a lot of unethical things after that. I've been to a lot of crazy places after that. And I've been through a lot. So with all of that, it's just kind of like I didn't know the effect that I was having with my absence, if that makes sense, right? And and so, like I was saying, like I had a lot of guilt and I felt really bad. And like Meek just said, she said, you can't really fault yourself for what you didn't know at the time. And at the time, I did not know or nor understand how that would make them feel. Because again, I said this like what a couple of weeks ago that I was disappointed because I I I was never the father that I had, right? So not being the father that I had, I did not understand the impact of not being the father that I had to my children, if that makes any sense to you, right? So I didn't understand it at the time. I was like, they'll be cool. They understand, like, that I'm not here, like, most of the time, gone working, all this other stuff. Like, they get it. They understand. Or I'm just living my life, just being out of pocket and all this other stuff. No, they get it. They understand. But no, man, it's not about they get it. No, it's not about they understand. It's about being present. So I beat myself up like for years, like bro, like what's up with you? Like you failed at this. You did so many great things, but you failed in the area that actually counts, right? And then, so what I want to talk about is giving yourself grace, right? And what Meek said right there, you can't fault yourself for what you didn't know at the time. So, like I was saying, what I didn't know at the time is just like how my actions were affecting my kids, right? And so I'm learning. So first of all, I'm unlearning the guilt and the shame, right? And now I'm learning to give myself grace for the things that I did not understand or know at the time, right? So I'm giving myself grace. Like, you know what? It's okay. You got another chance to get it right. It's never too late. It's never too late to do better. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I still struggle with it, but it's never too late to do better. And then not like beat myself up so much and feel so bad, and not just with them, just with my children, just relationships. Period. Like relationships. Period. Like just like sometimes I just feel weird. Like, bro, why don't you just give that some time? Why don't you just, extend yourself a little more in this area? Because it's uncomfortable for me, right? But growth, there is discomfort in growth. You can't grow without discomfort. Like they always talk about, like if you're working out in the gym, if you're trying to get swole and all that other stuff, lifting weights and running and all this other stuff, it's literally painful. It's painful. Hey, what's going on, Toya? How you doing, sis? It's literally painful, right? And then you're sore the next day and all this other stuff because you're tearing muscles so the muscles can grow and be stronger. And the thing about it is, progression is uncomfortable. It's you get a whole level of discomfort because if you're constantly working out and you don't feel anything, you're doing something wrong. You're too comfortable, or you've gotten comfortable with doing this little tiny little walk or these little 5 pound weights that's not going to do anything. Discomfort, like it's not doing anything. So you're not uncomfortable. You're just doing it just out of the motions and all this other stuff. But you're not going to experience growth unless you experience discomfort. So I shy away from things that make me uncomfortable because I don't want to be uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable a long time with other stuff that didn't matter. I was uncomfortable. Stuff that I wasn't ethical. It was just, but on this particular journey of progressing, unlearning, this journey of unlearning, you are going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be uncomfortable, and I need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes any sense to anybody. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable because you're not going to grow if there is no discomfort. You're not going to have no gains if there is no discomfort. So at this point, right? So giving myself grace during this process of unlearning, understanding that this is what happened then, This is how you move forward now, right? But in that process of me beating myself up, I had to learn to forgive myself for all of the things that I did that was unethical. Now, I don't regret nothing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't nothing, not a thing. I don't regret a thing that I did, regardless of if it was ethical or unethical. Doesn't matter. I do not regret anything. Why? Because it made me the person that I am today. The man that is sitting here on this microphone in this beautiful, beautiful edifice. I would not be this guy right now if I didn't go through all that I've went through, if I didn't cause pain that I've caused, if I didn't experience pain that I've experienced, I wouldn't be who I am right now, right? So I've extended forgiveness to myself. I've extended forgiveness to myself. And forgiveness is a continual process, right? People just be like, nah, just forget it. Just blah, blah. No. You just forgive and forget all that other stuff. No, we can forgive but never forget. I think forgiveness is a process, though. Those things are what make you integral today. You're right. Yeah, those are the things that make me integral today. I'm looking over here, y'all, because that's where I got the comments. I should put the comments over here. That's what I should do. But hey, it's me. I'll just be doing whatever. It don't even matter at this point. I just be doing whatever at this point. I don't care. So yeah, so it's like, so extending, like, forgiveness is a continual thing, right? Because trauma literally reminds us daily. We get reminded daily of our trauma. We get reminded daily of our faults. And then that will bring back these thoughts. It will bring back these memories. And then you'll find yourself going back into that place of loathing, that place of feeling ashamed, that place of shamefulness, right? But then you got to exercise forgiveness again, man. You got to exercise grace. Forgive yourself, man. And then there's people, even in the space of like forgiving yourself, you got to forgive other people too, man. Like, for real, because a lot of us aren't emotionally intelligent enough to be like, you know what, that was me. That was all me. I aided in these things. Those things are triggers. You're right, me. These are triggers. I've aided for this to happen, but a lot of us aren't emotionally intelligent enough to recognize our part. So we literally are walking around angry and hating people for the part that they played in our lives. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's be honest. Let's be super honest, right? Let's be really, really honest. Now, there are people that did some wild stuff to us. That we ain't had nothing to do with that. They just did wild stuff to us, because there are people that are just out there that are just evil, who want to see you do bad. There's people who really want to hurt you. There's people who want to use you. That is real. And you don't have anything, you didn't do anything to deserve that or to get that. And then, so there are people out there like that. But forgiving them is not for them. Forgiving those people is for you. You cannot progress. You cannot move forward with this stuff in your heart. That stuff hurt, bruh. It don't feel good. It don't feel good. And then, like, that type of stuff literally leads to health issues, because you carrying all of that. So Cherry said, I always say navigating loss or discomfort is also a chance to gain lessons, good, bad, or indifferent. Yes, like I said, this is about life lessons and laughter. I believe that there are no such things as losses. I don't believe in losses. Everything is a lesson. It's like you gotta ask yourself, what did I learn in that? What did I learn in that? What did I get out of that? And that takes a level of emotional intelligence. I know emotional intelligence sounds like this new phrase that all podcasters and everybody's saying, but after I dug deep into that, and I was like, whoa, that makes a lot of sense, because a lot of people, yeah, you could be grown, but lack understanding of certain things, right? You have to know who you're talking to. You got to know who you're dealing with and all that other stuff. So, like, you have to have a level of emotional intelligence to understand that everything that happens in life, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, whatever happens, it's all lessons. So Toya said, I believe you really can't live a fulfilled life without forgiveness, even though it can be hard to forgive. And forgiveness is not even an easy thing. Forgiveness takes work, like a lot of work. I mean, forgiveness is exhausting, straight up exhausting. I'm telling y'all, man, it's exhausting. Because it's like you're taking every ounce of you to be like, yes, it happened. And it could be something super devastating. You're like, yes, it happened. It hurt. It buried me. It burned me. But it takes a lot for you to be like, you know what? It's okay. I'm not mad at you no more. I'm not mad at you about that. That was a time in your life that you were honorable. And maybe you are past that stage in your life. Whether you get an apology from somebody or not, whether you give somebody an apology or not, it's a stage in certain people's lives. And to be honest with you, that was supposed to happen. Whatever it was supposed to happen. Once you really come to the realization that, you know what, everything in my life happens for a reason. You meet people for a reason. You know, you people do things to you. You do things to people for a reason. And it's like, after you sit back, take a minute and be like, you know what? And dig deep into the why. Not what happened, but why did it happen? Once you find that information, once you live with that information and sit with that information, sit with the truth of the matter, once you do that, man, I tell you, it'll be a weight lifted off your shoulders. You have to be okay with the sorry you may never get. My sister LaToya just said that. Toya just said that because I was getting to that. You got to be okay with somebody never telling you sorry. It's all right. It's all right. At this point, you don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need the. And most people talk about, I need closure for certain things. Why? What do you need closure with this particular issue for? The closure is unnecessary. It's already closed. It's already done. Take it out your heart. That's easier said than done. I know. Take it out your heart. Take it out, man. Because now you're not going to progress. And in our journey in life, before we close our eyes for the last time, is to become the best version of us, to operate at a high level, do the dopest things that we could possibly do. This will hinder you. Unforgiveness will hinder you from becoming the best version of yourself. Be your version of dope. But how dope do you want to be? Because you can't be that dope still carrying that stuff. Being able to forgive is the foundation of all relationships. You are so right. The best definition of marriage that I've ever heard was a happy marriage is the union of two good forgivers. Yeah, that's kind of dope. That's kind of dope. That's kind of dope, man. You got to forgive people, man. Let people be who they are at the same time. Forgive it. Keep it pushing, man. Keep it pushing. Because what are you doing carrying that? Because there are certain weights that are not going to help you build. There are certain weights that will hurt you. So if you try to pick up a 500 pound dumbbell right now without doing the conditioning to get up to that point, that weight will kill you. The weight will kill you. You have that and unforgiveness and all of this anger and frustration that's in your heart, man. I'm talking to myself right now. This anger and this frustration that's in your heart, right? That is that 500 pound dumbbell where you have not worked out enough to be able to pick that up. And now you carrying this and it's killing you. Nah, man. You don't need that. You don't need that, man. Let it go. I'm talking to me. Talking to all of us. Let it go. We're trying to be the best version of ourselves. Unlearn unforgiveness and learn forgiveness. Let's be on this journey, y'all. Let's be on this journey together because I'm telling you, man, just get this stuff out your heart. Get it out your heart. You're going to find yourself in a position where you're going to be at your happiest when you let go and lay aside every weight. Here comes the church. Here comes the churchy part. I was trying to get through this without being churchy, but lay aside every weight. Lay it aside, man. Word. Let it go. The weight of unforgiveness. The weight of feeling bad about who you are. The weight of low self-esteem. Lay it aside. That's a weight in itself, because that low self-esteem, because I'm telling you, I had it, y'all. This is me transparent, bro. Like, for real. Like, this is, y'all gonna get the truth no matter what, no matter how, when I come on, all of this, you're gonna get the truth from me, right? But I suffered from low self-esteem. I suffered from depression, right? Suffered from all of that stuff, right? Lay aside those weights. The weight of depression, the weight of low self-esteem, the weight of feeling bad about yourself, the weight of, like, feeling bad about the decisions that you made. Notice I said made. That's in the past. All right, what you learned from that bad decision. All right, cool. Let's go. Let's make better decisions at this point. You know what I'm saying? Lay aside this stuff. It's not, I'm telling y'all, man, you want to progress in life. Well, I want to progress in life. Well, how about that? Let me talk to me. I want to progress in life. I don't know if you want to progress, but if you are here listening to me, if we talking, we having these conversations together. Yeah, man. If we having these conversations, you a part of my little village that we got going on here. You a part of conversations with Terrence. So I know that you want to progress in life. I know you do. Especially if you are a part of my elk. You cut from my cloth. You want to progress. You want to operate at a high level. All of these weights, take them off. Lay them to the side. They're killing us. These weights are killing us. All right, so let's see what Meek just said. Some say that refusing to forgive is like you drinking poison. And waiting for the other person to die. Unforgiving is poison to you, your mind, your body, and your soul. Yes, Lord. All right, so Cherry said, you also have to learn that sometimes your capacity is too grand for some others and their mindset. You mean that how Cherry feels? Ha, yeah. Some people, all right. So Meek said to me, the last time we came on live, right? We mentioned for a few seconds about if she's a pint and I'm a jug, right? A gallon, it may not be enough for me, right? But what Cherry is saying, which is crazy, right? It's the total opposite. So if the jug is trying to pour into the pint, trying to give it all, you got all of this to give in this little pint. But what I have to give to people is too much. Man, that's crazy. They lack the capacity to hold what I have to give. And being okay with that too. You gotta be okay with that. You gotta be okay. Like Meek said that last time too. You gotta be okay with, like, people not what did you say, Meek? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of exactly what you said. I want to say it verbatim because I don't want to mess it up. It's like what you offer or something like that may be too much, or you're not supposed to operate at that level. Can you write that in there for me real quick? Because I don't want to misquote you, right? I don't want to misquote you. But I want to go back to laying aside everything, right? And then what we're going to pick up to make us stronger, let's pick up self-esteem. Let's pick up love. Let's pick up loving ourselves. Let's pick up loving others. Meek, that's crazy. She said, great illustration. You have to find an environment with greater capacity. And she doesn't remember what she said last time. I'm going to have to go back to the video, and then I'll reference that the next time I come on. It says, and I'm okay with that. My little tribe will come and grow. It's in God's timing and me allowing it to happen. That's right, Cherry. It's all in timing, man. It's all in timing. We might think that this is the time that things are supposed to happen. This is our timeline. And life does not work on your timeline. Does not. Sorry, juicy lips real quick. I just felt like LL just now. Life does not operate off of the timeline that you set. Yes, you put plans in place. You put things in place. You do all of that stuff, because if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. Bottom line in the story. But things don't always go according to your plan, my plan. It's okay. It's okay. The timing will be what it's supposed to be. You're going to connect with people in the time that you're supposed to connect with people. I'm meeting people right now. I was like, dang, I should have met you years ago, right? But the crazy thing about it is, no, now is the time. Now is the time, because there are certain relationships, right, that you would not have cultivated properly if you met people earlier. Like right now, certain relationships that I'm developing with people, I would have just been completely silent. I would be like, yo, get out of my face. I don't know you like that. Like that's how I used to be. Like if I didn't know you, I didn't want to waste time getting to know anybody. Nah, get out of my face, bro. I don't even know what time you on right now. I don't know. And that's a trauma response in itself. Like for me, because of a lot of stuff that I've seen, a lot of stuff that I've gone through, like where I grew up and all this other stuff, like you getting close with these cats that line you up. I had a cousin that got murdered from some cats who lined him up that he got close to, let him in his space, and they murdered him. Lined him up. So I have PTSD from stuff like that. Like I don't know these cats. I don't know these cats. I don't know you, man. But I'm not that severe anymore of just like shunning every relationship that comes my way or every person that comes my way. Yes, I am still cautious, which you should be. I am still cautious, I vet people, making as you're supposed to. That's what you got to do. That's what you have to do. You have to do that. This is 2024. People are on some other stuff. But also, this is 2024. People are coming into the new knowledge and the new information of being honorable. There is a tribe of us that are being honorable. They're out there. We looking for each other, and we slowly finding each other. We on this journey, y'all. The journey of unlearning these things and the journey of learning new things. I'm here for it, man. Listen, man. So wow. I just looked at the time. I could have real talk, I could have sworn this was only 15 minutes. I promise you all, I thought this was only 15 minutes. I'm looking at this and it says that this is 43 minutes long. That is crazy. I did not realize that. And another thing is sometimes people judge you without getting to know you because you're different. So many people try to connect with me now. They often say, I misjudged you and you're dope and smile. That happens a whole lot, right? I am in a place in my life. Okay, let me say this properly. That I'm not fond of people's opinion. How people view me matters not. I'm going to throw that King James in there. For I careth not, and their opinions mattereth not. Thus saith the Lord. It just, I don't know. I'm in a place of freedom. I'm in a place where I'm free from opinion. I am free for judgment, right? So I'm living by this model where I don't feel that I have the right to judge anybody for anything that they've done, anything that they're doing, wherever they've gone, wherever they've been, where they're at. I'm at a place in my life where I feel as if I do not have a right to judge anybody, right? And I don't. Oh, I can't say I don't care. I am not fond. I am not fond of people's opinion of me. I'm not fond of people's judgmental spirits. Doesn't matter to me. I'm okay. As long as I'm rocking with my moral compass, I'm doing my thing the way that I need to do my thing, and the way that my thing is comfortable for me. Well, uncomfortable at this point, because now we're going to rock in discomfort in order for us to grow, right? As long as I am going along with my moral compass, what people feel, what people think about me, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I get judged a lot as well. They always say I'm too churchy until they get to know me. Listen, I'm churchy. I don't care. They call me pastor at work. They call me deacon at work. And you know what's funny? This is very funny, right? I don't talk about God at all at work. None in the least. Don't talk about God at work. But they was like, you like a deacon. You like a pastor. That's what they say to me at work. So my nickname is deacon. My nickname is pastor at work, bishop at work. My mom taught years ago, free to be me. That's where you are. Yes, that's right, me. I am free to be who I am. And who I am does not change according to the audience. No matter what, I am who I am. Be around my street homies, I'm the same way. Be around church cats, the same way. At work, I'm the same way. It's what it is. I'm free to be me. I'm going to be who I am. I'm learning to be comfortable in my skin. And during this time of embracing discomfort so you can grow, on the flip side of that, you still have to be comfortable in your skin, because these are two different things, right? Two completely different things, because it's really, really hard for you to progress when you are uncomfortable in your skin, when you are experiencing shame, because that's what we unlearning, y'all. We unlearning shame. There's nothing, listen, look at me, y'all. There is nothing for you to be ashamed of. There's nothing about you that you need to be ashamed of. You chubby, so what? I'm fat. I'm chubby too. I'm sexy to the mug, though. Hold on, let me do the LL lips again. Yeah, I'm sexy to the mug. Chubby. You may be skinny. So what? You may have like cookout arms or like Thanksgiving arms. Who cares about that? Be comfortable in your skin. Learn to love yourself, because that is going to be whether you be successful in this journey of learning or not. Unlearn all the negative things that you've ever heard about yourself. Unlearn all the negative things that you've said about yourself. Unlearn all of the things that are the complete opposite of who you feel like you need to be. Unlearn those things. I'm gonna come back to this real quick. Yes, being comfortable in my own skin. That's right, Toya. Be comfortable. 100%. You have to be comfortable within yourself. Toya, she laughing at me with the whole LL thing. You know, I got titties, man. I don't care. I don't care. If I lose it, it's because I feel like it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Yes, Thanksgiving Arms Week. Yep. If I get rid of my titties, that's because I felt like it, not because I'm trying to like make sure I look like somebody else or to get somebody to look at me a certain way. Nah, man. I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm comfortable with all of this. I've learned to love myself no matter what size I am. I was skinny. Then I got fat. Then I got fit. Went down. Built my body up nice. Then I got fat again. I got fat again. Okay. So what? It's okay. Man, it's okay. It's okay. Love yourself at every stage of life that you're in. Love yourself. You know, pat yourself on the back, yo. Word. Love the crap out of yourself, man. It's not easy. I'm telling y'all, I'm not saying this because it's super easy, because it took me a while to learn to love myself, right? It took me a while, but it's not impossible. Unlearn these things that you said about yourself, man. Unlearn that. Forgive yourself for anything that you've done. You know, forgive other people for all the things that they've done. I have forgiven myself for not being the present dad that I should have been. I've forgiven myself for not being the dad that I had. That's a sore spot for me, y'all. It's a sore spot for me. But I feel like it's something necessary to share. It's very necessary to share that because there's some other men out there that feel that same way. Like if you failed your children, men, look at me real quick because I only have women on here talking to me. So, eventually some man will jump on and start, getting some of this. Men, if you feel okay with failing as a dad, man, we got to talk about that because I don't feel okay with failing as a father. You know what I mean? And when I say failure, I'm talking about failure to the standards that, that were set before me, right? So if you feel comfortable with that, man, I don't know what to tell you, bro. It is what it is. It is what it is. So what we growing, y'all. I'm growing. We having these honest conversations. Let's grow together. Let's talk together. Let's love each other. Let's love other people in this process, right? Because I tell y'all, I have this horrible habit of just like not really rocking or caring what how other people feel, right? Now, not being fond of what other people feel, right? But I'm not talking about not being fond of what other people feel towards me, right? I'm just talking about not having compassion to somebody else's situation, somebody else's little thing, that's kind of like what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm working on it, because I have a short attention span. I don't want to hear nothing that you talk about right now. All right. I'm getting off topic. We done. Good night. Listen, guys. We've been talking for about 52 minutes, right? Which is wild. I had to fight through that, right? Because I always put a time restraint, and me told me, stop putting a time restraint on yourself, right? I put a time restraint on myself because I'm like, why am I talking for longer than 25 minutes? That's ridiculous. Nah, man, we have to have conversations. We have to have meaningful and long conversations, right? And let's be honest, an hour is not even that long of a time. But this is very uncomfortable for me, y'all. Very uncomfortable. But I am progressing and I'm growing in my discomfort, right? So let's do a quick recap, right? So we're on this journey of unlearning, right? So it is so funny. I wrote down something, and I normally never write down anything, right? So we're on this journey of unlearning, right? So what we're learning now is to give yourself grace. Give yourself grace during this period of unlearning. Extend forgiveness to yourself because we carry this stuff. I talk as long as preachers. Shut up, Tamika. Shut your filthy mouth. Extend forgiveness to yourself. Forgive yourself for what you would consider your shortcomings. Forgive yourself for that. I'm forgiving myself for mine. And then forgive others because you got to remember, you was in a place where you caused some type of havoc, some type of hurt or something like that. You was in that place too. Extend grace to others. Forgive others. So, you guys have rocked out with me for about 54 minutes, 53 minutes and 45 seconds to be exact. Time is the number one investment that you will never get a return on. You gave me your time tonight, and I dare not bastardize your time. So, I will see you guys next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the land of YouTube. We're going to be live from my beautiful edifice, y'all. We're going to be live next week, too. So this is what we're going to do. Y'all. I'm going to need you guys to click the thumbs up button on here. Go ahead and like this. And, man, send this to a friend. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Let's go through this journey together. Let's care about each other. Let's love each other. Let's progress together, man. Let's get this popping, man, because I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for a change. I've been waiting for a change. I'm antsy right now. I'm very antsy in my life right now. Very, 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 very much so. Very antsy right now because I need something different. I'm looking for something different. I need something different right now. And I feel like the change is right there. The change is right around the corner. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what this change is, but it's right around the corner. It's coming. It's coming. Like, I'm telling y'all, I feel it. This change is literally coming. I don't know what it is. And I feel that not only for myself, but for others as well. There is a change that is coming. Not sure what it is, but just be open to it because you won't be able to recognize the change. You would not be able to walk through these doors if you are trying to carry this 500-pound dumbbell that you have not conditioned your body to carry. So again, like I said, time is the number one investment that you will never get a return on. And you guys have given me 56 minutes of your time, and I'm forever grateful. Good night. Thank you.